Some voices sang the gospel. Some voices preached the gospel. But some voices built the sound of the church. If you've ever stood in a choir stand, if you've ever felt a song swell and wrap around you, if you've ever heard a church sing together, you've heard James Cleveland, often called the king of gospel music. James Cleveland didn't just influence gospel, he defined it. James Cleveland was born in Chicago, a city rich with church music, testimony, and tradition. He didn't just grow up around gospel, he grew up inside the church. From an early age, his ear was tuned not just to melody but to movement. He understood how music could lift a congregation, not just impress them. This wasn't talent alone. This was calling. Before God makes something global, He roots it deeply. James Cleveland didn't start with crowds. He started with church people, church services, and church sound. And God trusted him with more. James Cleveland's relationship with the Caravans and Albertina Walker is a powerful part of gospel history. Rather than simply being taught, James Cleveland became a musical force among them, arranging, shaping, and strengthening the sound that would come to define traditional gospel. Albertina Walker was a strong leader and a gospel giant in her own right. And James Cleveland's musical mind helped expand and deepen the Caravans sound during that era. Their relationship was one of mutual respect and influence, a collaboration that sharpened gospel music for generations to come. James Cleveland didn't change gospel music. He organized it. He expanded the choir sound, rich harmonies, call and response, strong piano foundations, choirs that move together. He understood something deeply spiritual. Gospel music is not a solo part, it's communion. When the choir sings, the church sings. The Bible says we are many members, but one body. James Cleveland's choirs showed us what that looks like. Different voices, different ranges, different stories, moving as one. That's church. James Cleveland's relationship with Aretha Franklin went far beyond collaboration. He was her musical guide. He helped shape her understanding of gospel piano, vocal phrasing, and how to sing with church authority, not just technical skill. Even when Aretha crossed into secular music, James Cleveland remained a spiritual and musical anchor in her life. When she returned to gospel, especially on her Amazing Grace album, she wasn't just singing songs. She was returning to church training, to a sound that James Cleveland helped form in her from the beginning. That album feels like church because it was church. James Cleveland founded the Gospel Music Workshop of America, one of the most influential gospel organizations ever created. This wasn't about fame. It was about training, fellowship, excellence, preservation. He was building future generations of gospel singers, musicians, and directors. James Cleveland's songs, they weren't flashy, they were heavy. Songs like Peace Be Still, I Stood on the Banks of Jordan, Lord Help Me to Hold Out, God Is. These songs carry weight because they were born out of real life in real faith. Some songs don't make you shout. They make you hold on. James Cleveland wrote music for people who were tired, people who were faithful, People who needed God to show up. In his later years, James Cleveland faced serious health struggles. But even as his body weakened, his legacy strengthened. He had already poured out everything God placed in him. This reminds us of something important. Ministry doesn't require perfection. It requires obedience. Whether people realize it or not, James Cleveland is heard every Sunday in choir rehearsals, worship services, and gospel arrangements. The king of gospel music didn't just leave songs behind. He left structure. James Cleveland may have left this earth, but his sound did not. Every time the church sings together, his legacy lives. This has been Voices of the Church, and today's voice reminds us, some people don't just leave music, they leave foundations.